Big Spring Skate Park is a community investment project that offers kids a safe environment to recreate, but also develop life skills that are inherent to skateboarding, such as dedication and learning how to manage adversity. I'm in this street-legal Honda S2000 and officials are allowing me to run the course. Now, drivers say they love this sport for the adrenaline rush, but also because of the challenge. Drivers get limited laps to master the course and get the fastest time in their category and overall. I drove Lane's tuned-up Honda Street Touring Roadster. I thought I was fast, but then I sat in the passenger seat while Lane took a spin. Lane has several other Hondas he modifies when he's not managing Procraft Carstar in Great Falls. The Ranch Rodeo simulates a more than century-old tradition where neighboring cowboys and cowgirls would meet and compete in everyday ranch tasks to see which cattle operation had the best horses and ranch hands.
Josh Meny joins us live in the studio. Josh, what have we learned so far about the incident?
Tim, it happened on Thursday evening at the Radisson Colonial Hotel shortly before 5:30 p.m. Edwards is accused of pushing his girlfriend into a TV stand, causing injury. We're at Kennedy Coulee, about 26 miles directly north of Rudyard and 2.5 miles south of the Canadian border, where 5 paleontologists are excavating what looks to likely be a new species of armored dinosaur. This is a kindergarten first grade male game going on behind me. Now the age brackets for this tournament go from K1 to adult 35 plus. Now the beauty of a tournament like this, and perhaps basketball as a sport in general, is that it's accessible to anyone of any age who wants to join in on the competition. About 40 fleeces from a variety of sheep breeds were submitted for judging by local wool experts at the Weaving and Wool Department at the Montana State Fair. The exhibit offers demonstrations on spinning, weaving, and showcases work done by some of the best fiber artists in Montana. Most folks, when they use their phones or the internet, they don't know how that line of communication works. However, if the infrastructure goes down, they won't be able to use their phones or internet. That's where amateur radio becomes a lifeline.
This is from extensive stem decay and root disease.
The National Forest culturists, or tree experts, say the tree stand at the Crystal Lake campground area is old, with trees ranging from 250 to 280 years in age. Younger trees have the vigor to fight against the diseases that are common in this area, but older trees don't have the defenses, making them much more susceptible to falling. Radio-controlled aircrafts requires people to learn a variety of skills: building the kits, repairing the aircrafts when they crash, electronics, and small engine mechanics. It also requires people to improve their hand-eye coordination and just sharpen their thinking. It's a lot of fun, extremely challenging, and just creates a great sense of accomplishment. A woman walking her dog on River's Edge Trail on Sunday morning discovered a dead body in the Missouri right there. Battalion Chief Bob Shoup of Great Falls Fire Rescue says the body looks like it had been in the water for a while. Most of Greg's work is resoling boots and shoes, and custom leather work. He can also refurbish rubber soles that were not originally meant to be replaced. Most shoes made today are not meant to be repaired. Wright says half the shoes that come into his shop are manufactured with the intent to be just thrown away once the soles are worn out. However, Wright is successful most of the time in replacing the soles and fixing the shoes for much less than it would cost to buy a whole new pair. Obviously, a main draw for many folks attending Montana's military open house Flight Over the Falls is the U.S. Air Force Thunderbirds and the various other pilots and aircraft showcasing their capabilities in aerial demonstrations, but many static displays are also gaining interest from attendees at the air show.
As well as inverted fuel and
The event was free to attend, and organizers say more than 20,000 people showed up each day to take in the action. For a goat breeder to win a competition like the Montana State Fair, it means recognition from the American Dairy Goat Association that will improve the status of their herd's bloodline and bring a boost to their business. In the 40 years Corey Falk has been living in Sunburst, he's never seen wind quite like this. Sunburst farmer and insurance agent Corey Falk says 100-mile-per-hour plus winds were recorded on his weather station wind meter. Wind gusts folded in the sliding door on the other side of this shop, causing a large portion of the roof to lift up and land right here. Luckily, the door got lodged in the steel bumper of an old Chevy grain truck. Otherwise, it could have ripped through the rest of the shop, causing more damage.
It's an old truck, it holds up really well, and it swung just right to catch that bumper so that door didn't rip off completely. So the odds of that are probably 1 in a million, right?
There was more than $50,000 worth of damage, but fortunately, with his insurance coverage, it will only cost him $2,500.
It is all insured. I'm the insurance agent for it, so it better be, right? I suppose.
Kremlin Volunteer Fire Chief Cody Peterson says there's several staging areas around the perimeter of this fire with the main goal of maintaining containment.
The fire is contained at this point. There is some hot spots.
As you can see, there's a stump on fire behind me. Now, this is what the firefighters are calling hot spots. The main goal of all of the fire personnel is to guard and maintain the perimeter around the fire, but in the perimeter there are hot spots like this.
Basically out in timber fires, it's a lot of handwork, Pulaski, shovels, and kicking coals around.
The City Commission will either accept or modify the Council's recommendations at their next meeting on March 21st at 7 p.m. in the Civic Center. A public hearing will then be held on Tuesday, April 4th. The city will vote on the plan and then submit it to the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development. In Great Falls, Josh Meny, MTN News.